So I'm recording again. Hi again, guys. For this second capsule, I will enter what it is, Unit 10. I forgot it, but I will also upload the workbook with its answers as well. So you first please do the workshop, so the workbook of Unit 9, which is this one, and I upload the answers and the audios that you needed to complete it. Okay. So for Unit 10, we'll start with vocabulary. And what vocabulary? Computers. Normally, what do you use a computer for? You can use it for gaming. You can use it for emails. You can use it for work, homework. You can use it for studying, etc., etc. Right? It has many uses, and we all have a computer, or most of us. I will assume we all have one, and we all use email. So this is sort of this part is easy because we all have a computer. So first of all, what composes a computer? It's a keyboard, a mouse pad, a mouse, a screen. If you have a webcam, for example, a microphone where you talk or do where you used to do meetings. What else? Another one, the escape key, el escape en inglés, en español. The space bar, la barra de espacio, la espaciadora. What else? A printer, right? A CD-ROM, but this we don't use it, or DVD-ROM. So that's the parts of the hardware of a computer. Then we have sort of the software or things that we use inside the computer. For example, a document, carpet, save data, print, cut, copy, paste, right? We've all done this. When you copy and paste from ChatGPT to the homework, right? We've all done this. What else? Paste, exit for escape key. So I'm just wondering a little bit of this. You'll do this guide and read it, right? Then you have the exercises. I hope you do it. Again, I will upload them. So you try to do it and then check the answers, okay? For example, match the words on the left with the words on the right. So memory, we'll go with for operating or hard or long. So for example, CD goes with E, right? Because E it's ROM, CD-ROM. This memory will be memory stick, right? Yes, it's memory stick, H. Operating system, right? Sistema operativo. And like that. Then you have to complete these words. For example, this is laptop. Or this is a space bar. I like that. Then, test your knowledge. Can you remember what they are icons? For example, open a new document. This is copy. This is cut. Or no, this is yeah, this is copy. Yeah, like that. Then complete the definitions. I'll leave this to you. Then we have emails and the internet. Remember that internet, it's the internet. Okay, you will always use that before internet. So using an email, there are sort of things that you have to know when using an email, and it's about the structure, right? But here it doesn't teach you about. No, then it teaches you. Okay, so it says think about the way you use email. what do you use it for? You check your email because, I don't know, for because the teacher sent message there, right, to the email, so you have to check it. You do it to see offers that get to your feed in the to your bandeja in your email. How many emails do you send a week? Are they all essentials? Are they necessary? How many emails do you get every week? Do you read them immediately? How quickly do you reply to? Do you delete emails regularly? Do you get much spam? Do you delete the spam? And that's it. How often do you send or receive attachments? So that will be about email. Then we have internet. For internet, you normally use it with a browser. In this case, the browser is Google. I'm using Google. You go to a website using the browser, or you use a search engine. You go to a link, or you send a link. Then you can download or upload what you want. I don't know, an image, a video. You use it with Wi-Fi, right? You, I don't know, use your email address in the internet. You check your inbox, your spam, your attachments. Okay, so that's our words that I are mostly used about internet and emails. For example, to go on the internet, you need an ISP, internet service provider. In this case, I don't know, I have Entel. Entel is my internet service provider that will connect, join or link your computer to the internet, right? Or you can have a cable. In this case, I'm using Wi-Fi. Then you give access to email and other services, as I told you before. When you go online, you use the internet, you can send and receive emails, you can browse the internet, you do this using a browser, such as Internet Explorer or Firefox, the same things I told you before. Many websites also have links. If you click on a link, it will take you to a different website or move you from one part of the website to another. So most of it, what we've been talking about. Then you have the use of internet, you need to have access to internet, yada, yada, yada. So then you do the exercises, match the word with the left and the words on the right. Then, so for example, go online. And surf, for example, you surf the web, right? When you, I don't know, it says in Spanish, navegar. Cuando navegas, you surf. Click on a link, etc., etc. Right? So again, you do this part. I'll do the first ones, but you do this part. And then lastly, we have numbers. About numbers. This is very important. And many people forget it or have it wrong when they talk. It's about practice, about remembering. For example, how do we say dates? So no, first cardinal numbers. We'll go in order. 379. That's the cardinal way of saying numbers. 5,084, right? 2 million. 2,860. So you have to remember that when you have numbers like these ones, 10, 20, well, 10 no, because 10 it's 20, 30, 40, 50. See how I'm saying? 20, 40. It ends with a like 60. In this case, 60 with a Y. And then we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This ends in a with the 19, right? Teen. Yeah, so that's for that numbers. Then we have dates. With dates, we will write them in a certain order. There are two ways of doing it. We'll do it the way that the guide says, because why will I teach you another way that you won't use in the course? So we can write, for example, for June or June the 4th. Normally I use this one. I don't know if you've seen when I send messages in the aula, I use this one. But you can also say the 4th of June. Oh, well, the guide says so, okay. Or June the 4th for the same date. Different ways of saying the same thing. Also, for example, for this date, 21 May or May 21st, you can say 21st of May or May the 21st, same thing. And for dates like years, you can say it the cardinal way, but it's not that correct. We normally don't use that. We normally use, for example, here it says 1997. 1997. See, we break down this number to 19 and 97. So first we say the first part, 19, and then the second part, 97. Or you also can use, which is less used, well, it will depend how good it sounds. For example, this one, we will say it in cardinal because 2016, because it has this gap here. And it sounds better this way, but you can also say 2016, which is up, right? Well, here it says 2016, but it will depend on you. Then we have fractions and decimals. 1 and 1/4. 1/4 it's un cuarto. Half, la mitad. 3/4, 3/4. Or 1.25 or 1,25. 1.5, 1.75. This one, it's easy. It's very like intuitive, right? Then we have percentages. Percentage. For example, 26%, it's spoken as 26%. Sorry. More than 50% of something is the majority of it. Yeah. Less than 50% is something that's the minority. Then again, the vast majority of students, for example, above 80% normally, because it's the vast majority. In this case, 95% agree with the new plan, only a small minority. In this example, less than 5% were unhappy. Then we have calculation using calculation with numbers. Addition es suma, subtraction es resta. Multiplication, multiplicación. Division, división. And then saying the 0. Can be spoken in different ways in different situations. Telephone numbers 603449. 603. Oh well, double 4 in this case 9. Or you also can say 603 double 4 9. See, you can say O or 0. I like more 0, but you can say O. For mathematics, you can say note 0.7 or 0.7. Also, you can say 6.0 or 02 or 6.02. To be honest, I never use note, but if it is in the guide, I may have to use it in the quiz. So remember, note. And temperatures, you can say, for example, this is minus 10 degrees, but you can also say 10 degrees below 0 or minus 10 degrees, as I said. Then you have the exercise for this part. You do this part because it's grammar about numbers. You should know. This is only a review. And lastly, we have the grammar about comparatives and adjectives. This part is very fun. I like this part because normally, I don't know why you confuse these two things, which are so easy. So, first we'll see comparatives. And we'll see first at this image. Look at the way that we compare things. For example, this is the Excelsior and this is the Plaza Hotel. What you can say about the Excelsior and the Plaza Hotel? The Plaza Hotel is cheaper than the Excelsior because it's 5 quid per night. Oh, well, 5 euros. No, this is pounds, 5 pounds per night. The Excelsior Hotel, it's bigger than the Plaza, right? It's bigger, it's more expensive than the Plaza. The Plaza, it's smaller than the Excelsior. See how I use the comparatives? We normally use comparatives with than. Always remember this. Comparatives normally are used with than. I don't have work here. Than, cheaper. So, cheaper and more expensive are comparatives as we use them. And we have rules for doing comparatives. When it's a short adjective with one syllable, we will normally, because there are some cases that are not, but normally we'll use an ER at the end. For example, old, older, long, longer, big, bigger, hot, hotter, like that. All these examples. For long adjectives, 2 syllables or more, we will use more. Famous, more famous. Difficult, more difficult. Careful, more careful. Expensive, more expensive. And for adjectives ending with an Y, like happy or hungry, we use happier or hungrier, like that. Then we have the irregulars. Irregulars, for example, are good and bad. Good, better. Bad, worse. This you cannot please cannot, you don't use never more good, more bad, or less bad. Please don't use that because it will be automatically wrong. The better, the more the better. The fewer the worse. See? Don't use good or bad in comparatives. And then it says what I said, we normally use than. So then you have to do the practice. The first practice, it's easy. It tells you to write the comparative of these adjectives. For example, bigger with was, it's up here. It's like this, bigger. Careful. Careful has the 2 syllables. More careful, right? Expensive, 2 syllables. More expensive. Good. What was good? Better. What was fat? Fatter. Ends with a T, so you have to add a T. And like that. You do it at your home, your free time, then I'll upload the answers for this, okay? Then you have to write the comparative sentence about the pictures using than and the words in brackets. Use the present simple, as we saw in the last capsule. So Alaska and Spain, and you have to use be and cold. So for example, we could use Alaska is colder than Spain. Also remember, countries start with capitals because it's like with names. Then we have Steve and Jane, and we have to use hungry. Steve is almost finishing his plate, so his sandwich. So Steve is hungrier than Jane, and like that, you do it. Then see, look at the information about 2 boats, the Queen Anne and the King John. The boats are Queen Anne and King John. They have different lengths, different areas, different top speed, year made, and price. For example, I could say that Queen Anne it's longer than Queen John. Queen Anne has more area than King John, like that. But I also could say that King John is cheaper than Queen Anne. So then you have to complete this about King John and Queen Anne. The King John is smaller. Well, here I will say use of course than because it's a comparative. The Queen Anne is smaller than the King John, more of course, but the others you'll do. That's with comparatives. You see, very easy, very easy. Then we have superlatives, and we use the superlatives to say that something is the most of a group. Por ejemplo, en español, lo vamos a usar los superlativos para decir que es lo más. Por ejemplo, eres lo máximo, es un superlativo. Lo más, ¿cachai? Como... Ahora vamos a ver. For example, the most expensive seats are at the front of the theater. The most expensive. Most. Superlative. The cheapest seat, cheapest, superlative as well. Seats are in the back because here we have the front, the middle, and the back, and we're seeing the prices of this particular set, theater or stage. We can use superlatives without a noun. The seats at the back are the cheapest. And look at the tables. For example, for warm, we'll use, this is one syllable, the warmest. For tall, the tallest. Ay, ¿qué pasó? The tallest. For low, the lowest. And like that. Hot, hottest. ¿Sí? Lo más caliente. For long adjectives, 2 syllables or more, we will use the most or the least. Just as a comparative that we used, for example, more, we will use or the most or the least, because for superlatives, you have these two differences. O es lo más o es lo menos. Pero se usa de esa forma. O lo más o lo menos. For example, most famous or least famous. Difficult, the most difficult or the least difficult. Most and least, that are the ones that are used. Then we have the ones with a Y. Easy, the easiest. Happy, the happiest. And the irregulars. The best or the worst. What else? We usually use the before in the superlatives. London is the biggest. The Taj Mahal is the most beautiful building in the world. And note that we use in, not of, for places after the superlative. All right. The richest man in Europe. It's not the richest man of Europe. In Europe. We do not always use a noun after a superlative adjective. For example, George and Mary have 3 children. Mike is the oldest. Which table did you buy? The most expensive. And we often use the present perfect with ever after the superlative. For example, that was the best film I have ever seen. Present perfect, don't forget it. Well, we haven't seen it yet, but in the future you'll see it. You know what I said, don't forget the present perfect. And fantastic present perfect, it's for you to know. If you have a doubt, it's subject plus have or has plus past participle verb. Okay, if you want, you can look it up, but we'll do it. We'll see it in the after. So don't worry about it. Then we have the practice about superlatives. So for example, put the words in brackets in the right order and make sentences. The world, Antarctica, coldest is placed the in, right? And so then we are order them and we form the phrase Antarctica is the coldest place in the world. So for example, the first one. I will say first Manchester, so to make a comparison. Manchester is the most expensive, friendliest city in England, right? Because a city, Manchester, England, France. The one in below it's expensive, but I'll get you to that. So Manchester is the friendliest city in England. Then we have part B. Complete the sentences using the superlative form of the adjective in brackets. Anna is the youngest person in the class. We stayed in, I have to use bad, hotel in the whole city. So what was bad? It was worst. The worst. Not only worst, the worst. People say that it is, blah, blah, you have to use funny, film of the year. So for funny, we will use the funniest. El más chistoso. So like that. And then we have boats. Now we have 3 boats that we have to compare. Well, no, not compare, talk about them. So the Queen Anne is the longest of these boats, right? The longest boat. Then it talks about the first one. Which one is the shorter? So, or well, the shortest. Jolly Jim, right? 4 meters. So the Jolly Gym is the shortest. Remember, superlative, the shortest boat. And like that. Then we have use the words in brackets to write sentences. Use the plus superlative and the present perfect plus ever. So as this example, I told you, we have to use ever. So for the first one, it's big ship I see. So it's the biggest ship I have ever seen, or I've ever seen, right? And like this with everyone. So this is the guide for superlatives and adjectives, but this is not all what we'll see in this. Lastly, I want you to do the workbook, like in Unit 9, but I didn't say it in the video. I will remind you. Hagan la workbook 9 y 10. Les voy a subir las respuestas. Pero háganlo. Y también les voy a subir los audios, porque esos se hacen con audio. Entonces, for example, the first one. We have a grammar of comparative adjectives. Lo que estábamos viendo recién. So, underline the correct words to complete the sentences. Vamos a ver. So, my new laptop is lighter than yours. For the second one, I think headphones are more useful more than it. Of course, it will be more useful than earbuds. Gary's tablet is bigger than this one. It's a short one, so we will use bigger, right? Our camera is heavier. Well, this is comparative, so it's sort of easy. You'll do this, you'll end this. I'll upload the answers. Then we have, look at the information about the two TVs and complete the sentences. Use the comparative forms of the adjectives in the box. So, for example, this one's weight. The high-tech TV is heavier than the big TV because we'll see the table. Then the screen size, the big TV is the big size TV. Well, this one, big TV, we'll see the big TV. Where is it? Big TV. And we're talking about screen size. So screen size, big TV, it's bigger. So bigger than the high-tech TV. Picture quality. Big TV is better. So the picture on the big TV is better, as I said, than on the high-tech TV. Unlike that, you have to do this part. Then the vocabulary, it collocations, match 1 with 5 and A to E to make a sentence. So, well, IT collocations. So the first one, click on this link to watch our new video clip. Then the second one, enter your username and password to log into the computers in this library, right? 2E. 4. Sorry, I mean 3. Click here to download powerful antivirus software, keep your computer safe, right? And then you, unlike that, go on. Then underline the correct words to complete the sentences. No, you can't log into my computer, it's private. You can use my laptop to check or visit your email. What do you do with your email? You normally check it. You don't visit your email, you check it. Tú revisas el mail, ¿cierto? En español tú lo revisas. En inglés también. En inglés. Sorry, estaba cerrando la ventana. En inglés, you check it as well. También lo revisas. Then when you save or visit their website, they give you $1 to help poor people. Normally, ¿qué haces con los websites? You visit them. So when you visit their website. Then we have grammar, superlative, or adjectives. Adjective is the correct word. So underline the correct words to complete the sentences using adjectives, superlatives, sorry. They say that Arabic is one of the most difficult, of the most difficult, in this case, languages in the world, right? Then, Spanish is one of the most popular, or the most popular, right? The most popular languages in the world to learn. Languages for learn, to learn, and for learning. To learn, right? To learn. Then I think Lionel Messi is the goodest, the best, or the most good. Of course, the best football player of all time. And well, like that. You'll do the rest. Then we have B part. So you have to put these words in the correct order to make a sentence. So Japanese. Japanese is one of the hardest languages to learn, right? Yes. Hey. Nice. Languages to learn. Then we have Sam. Sam best, yeah. Sam, the best student in our class, right? Then you do all the others. Then we have vocabulary, high numbers, tick the correct word, 7,500, right? This one will be 812. 812. This one will be 2 million. will be 2,500, right? Because 2,500,000. Here it's wrong. No. Forget that. Está viendo abajo. Ahí sí. 2,500,000. But I like that. Ya les hice casi todo. Then you have to listen and check. For this part, I upload the listening. Okay. And then pronunciation as well. I will upload it. Lastly, you have everyday. Well, you have this one. I didn't watch these ones, but it's good for writing. This is for emails. This one has it. Okay. So yes, you have to do the entirety of the guide, hopefully. And then you have everyday English, useful language, asking for help. Well, we didn't see it, but you can also use it because it's useful. This is C. For example, could you help me with something? Yes, normally you use of course. Yes. Like this. Of course. What is it? I don't know how to record programs on my new TV, right? Then normally we will use, well, it will depend, but in this case, I think it's easy. I haven't do it. Right, that's easy. Then would you mind showing me? I like that. Then you have listen and check. I'll upload the listenings, as I said, the entirety of it. So all these are listenings, you'll listen to them. I as well will upload the answers, so don't worry. Then you have 10D, which is reading. It's a reading part. So you have to read and then answer. I won't do it right now because I haven't read it and I will take some time. But you'll do it in your spare time. Well, that will be it. I will upload the entirety of this so you can practice. What I'm more interested about, although, it's the first three parts, or first two, comparatives and superlatives, because that's what we've been seeing. The other, you will see it with the teacher, but I have to see it as well. And that's it. This is all the entirety of the unit 10 and little part of 11, but mostly 10. I hope you guys are doing fine and we'll see each other next video or next class, depending on or whether the strike continues. So goodbye. Take care.